Welcome once again. We are running our microcontroller Arduino part 4. Now we are going to run the codes, how to build the codes, what are the functions needed in building a sketch of Arduino or codes. You see, some note before you start. Every Arduino program has two main functions. Functions are a part of computer program that learn specific commands. Functions have unique names and are called when needed. The necessary functions in an Arduino program are called setup and loop. These functions need to be declared, which means that you need to tell the Arduino what these functions will do. Setup and loop functions are declared as you see in the light. In this program, you are going to create a variable before you get into the main part of the program. Variables are names you give to place in the Arduino's memory so you can keep track of what is happening. These values can change depending on your program's instructions. Variable name should be descriptive of whatever value they are storing. For example, a variable name switch state tells you what is a stores. The state of a switch. On the other hand, a variable named x does not tell you much about what it stores. Let's start coding. To create a variable, you need to declare what type it is. The data type int will hold a whole number, also called integer. That's any number without a decimal point. When you declare a variable, you usually give it an initial value as well. The declaration of the variable as value statement must end with a semicolon. This is a semicolon, you see. Then configure pin functionality. The setup runs once when the Arduino is first powered on. This is where you configure the digital pins to be either inputs or output using a function named pin mode. You see, the setup is where you learn while an Arduino is powered on. This is where you configure the pins of Arduino, what you are using as inputs, what you are using as input. You see, what you will use in input or output, but especially the digital pins. You see, this setup function is mostly used to configure or to determine what are input, what are output in digital pins of your Arduino. You see, and it is named pin mode. While you are coding or while you are building your sketch, you have to respect each functions. You see, if this is pin mode with a bracket, you see, this pin mode you are going to explain, or you are going to specify either the input pins or output pins. You see, then the pins connected to the LEDs will be outputs and the switch pins will be the inputs. You see, here they are explaining you well what will be considered as outputs, what will be considered as inputs. You see, on the outputs we will learn where the Arduino inputs, components or devices, Arduino output components or devices. But at this stage, let's use these two examples of devices in order to know to differentiate them. Reds are right emitting diodes, while a switch is a device which used to switch on or switch off. You see, when you are pushing, example, if we use push buttons here, when you push, it means you are giving a signal by pushing, or yes, by pushing. That is input because you are inputting a signal by placing on a switch. You see, these are inputs. While you push, the red diode will be on. That red will produce a right, as it is right emitting diode. Then the production of a red is that right. That means this is the output, this is the input. We will see different types of input and output. Let's continue to the next function. Create the loop function. The loop runs continuously after the setup has completed. The loop is where you will check for voltage on the inputs and turn outputs on and off. To check the voltage level on the digital inputs, you use the function digital read. That checks the chosen pin for voltage. To know what pin to check, digital read arguments are information that you pass to functions, telling them how they should do their job. For example, digital reads need an argument what pin to check in your program. Digital reads is going to check the state of, you see. Then for building a loop function, you see, is what will be repetition will be in repetition. You see, what will, example, if digital reads, okay, let's jump to the codes first of all. You see, void setup. If you remember well, any code you write inside to the curly brackets will be executed when the function is called. You see, void setup, if you remember well, we saw is where to declare pin modes, or what pins input, what are output. You see, then here in void loop is where you make a repetition of your codes. Then int switch state is equal to 0. void setup, you see, a void setup, pin mode 3 will be output, pin mode 3 output. You see, this first function, you write void setup double brackets, and you have to open the code because you are going to start. Then write pin mode 3, pin mode 4, pin mode 5. Those are the pins that you are going to use in on your Arduino. You see, pin mode 3, 4, 5, 2. That means pin 3 on your Arduino is output. Pin 4 on your Arduino board is output. 5 also output. While pin mode 2 is input. You see? And you remember that int, we saw that is an integer. We saw that is the whole numbers without the points or the fractions. Our switch state is 0 or 1, you see, but don't forget to use this semicolon. After this function, setup function, it was already open before and you have to close, but don't forget for each state, don't forget to put semicolon. Then you have to close, then come on the loop function. You also write void loop with the double brackets and open, then switch state digital read 2. You see, we saw that in a loop function is where you put a digital read as an input or digital write for the output. You see, then we have second pin on our Arduino, we have it as any input. That means our switch is connected to the pin number 2 on our Arduino. Then you have to write switch state equal to digital read 2, then semicolon. You see, then let's back before continue. The pin 2 and store value in the switch state variables. If there is a voltage on the pin digital read, it is called. The switch state variable will get the variable high or 1. If there is no voltage on the pin, switch state will get the value low or 0. You see, our switch is a digital input because if it is high is equal to 1, if it is low is equal to 0. That means in hardware, when there is a voltage on inputs on that second pin to our Arduino, that means our switch will be high. That means it will be state 1. While there is no voltage on our second pin on our Arduino, that means our switch will be at state of low, equal to 0. Then above you used the word of the check the state of something, namely the switch position and if statement in the programming compares two things and determine whether the comparison is true or false. then it performs action you tell it to do. When comparing two things in programming, you use two equal signs. In code, while you are comparing two things, you have to use two equals sign. Then when we use if statement, we use if statement if we want to control different output by, for example, if in low position or low state of our switch there is some activities will be done in the output. And you can also use another statement of high when you want to do something at the output. I think you remember when we was studying a switch, we saw different types of a switch: double pole, single pole. You remember those all? That a single switch can be a double pole, double switch by using a code. We will see more in next studies, you see. Then building up your spaceship. Let's start. A digital write is a command that allows you to send 5 voltage or 0 to the output pin. You see, a digital write is a command that allows you to send 5 voltage or 0 voltage to the output. Arduino, when you allows 5 voltage to the pin, one of the output pins of Arduino, you use digital write. Digital write is mostly used for output parts, while on inputs we use digital read. Let me repeat again. On output we use digital write, while on input we use digital read. Then if you write, digital write is the command that allows you to send 5 voltage or 0 voltage on the output pin. Digital write takes two arguments: what pin to control and what value to set that pin, high or low. If you write digital write is high, that means you send 5 voltage on that pin. While you write digital write to low, means you send 0 voltage to the output. If what to turn the LEDs on and the green LED off inside your if statement, your code look like this. You see, you have told an Arduino that to do when the switch is open. Now define what happens when the switch is closed. The if statement has an optional else components that allows for something to happen if the original condition is not met. In this case, since you checked to see if the switch was low, write the code for the high condition after else statement. To get the red on to blink, let's jump to continue our sketch. If switch statement equal low. You see, if switch state equal low, you remember these signs we saw above, then you have to open, then write digital write pin 3 will be equal to high. You write, while you are coding, you write digital write bracket 3, that means is pin 3 high. That means when this switch is at a low position, pin 3 will be high. That means green LED will get 5 voltage. That means you send 5 voltage to pin 3, and that exactly this red will be on because it has 5 voltage, while pin 4 and pin 5 are low. That means they have 0 voltage, while this has 5 voltage. That means at this condition or at this state, pin 3 will be high, will be on, this red will be on, while these two will be off. And there's, if you use these bulbs, it means you are making a comment. This is a comment, it cannot affect your code. You see, L is digital write pin 3 get low, pin 4 low, pin 5 high. That means this high, this 5, it has 5 voltage, this has 0 and 0 voltage. Then that session or that event will take 250 milliseconds. You see, and after will be repeated as pin 4 get high, pin 5 get low. You see, these are just to change the conditions. You see, these are how to build a code in Arduino IDE application. We will just try to build another simple code in order to emphasize you to understand well, but I hope you get two main functions of Arduino: building a code, building a sketch. I hope you get it well.